What's going on, folks? It's your boy King Red Diamonds. I'm back again for another Nioh 2 video. Today in this video I'll be showing off my Kusarigama build. As you can see, I'm in depths of the underworld, floor 7. This build, I won't say to you that I had a good time using it, because I really didn't. I fucking suck at using Kusarigama. In my opinion, I'm terrible at it. But the build actually turned out pretty well in my opinion. The reason why I say that is because it deals with water. So this is going to be a water-based build. It takes advantage of, funny enough, the ruler Riverside Yokai. As you can see, he's teamed up with me right now. But yeah, this build it's very technical and very skill heavy. If you're good with the Kusarigama, I can almost guarantee you'll have fun with this build. If you're not good at Kusarigama, I recommend you do not use that weapon at all. It'll punish you for being unskilled. You want to try and be. You want to try. The build isn't really super tanky. The reason why is because it deals with light armor. Since the ruler Riverside the Riverside Yokai is a light armor set, you're not going to be tanky at all. So you have to be careful when using it, because you will get hit super hard. You will definitely take a lot of damage, especially in depths. As you can see, I died like 3 times. Luckily that quick change scroll saved my life. But yeah, this build is not in the slightest tanky, but it will do plenty of damage if you actually make it out to do so. Again, as a disclaimer, my builds that I put together are not, and I can't stress this enough, they are not my personal builds. I'm not putting all my resources into them. I'm not min-maxing them. I'm not making them depths of the underworld ready. I'm giving you, or the viewers, an idea of what you yourself may want to put together. Every single build video I put together more than likely is a requested video. It's not something that I'm doing because this is just, you know, me personally putting my stuff in. No, this is for reference only. Okay, so whenever you see any of these videos, these are just giving you ideas of what you may be able to do, and that's that. But other than that, I think the build is really good in my opinion. Especially if you take the time to, you know, like put the effort and put the resources into it, you'll definitely be able to make this build devastating. Because again, the Kusarigama is very skill heavy. It's very good against Yokai, and it's kind of wishy-washy against humans. Because humans block, Yokai don't. So, you know, once you get the skills down and everything, Kusarigama will be your best friend, guaranteed. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the build. I hope you guys stick around to the second half when I go over the details of the build. Before we get to the second half, I ask you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the video. Leave me feedback, whether it be positive or negative. All feedback helps. I did get feedback on my last video from someone, and it was negative, and I appreciated the negativity of the feedback because it helps me learn. But what I do not appreciate is the rudeness. There's no need to be rude on any of the videos that I put out. I understand that you may have a difference of opinion, and I 100% agree with your difference of opinion, because no one's going to like everything. But what I don't agree with is the way you handled it. Now, I'm not sure if you deleted it or if YouTube deleted the comment. I would have liked to reply to you to understand why you came at me so aggressively. But maybe next time we can actually talk about it and have a conversation about it. But in terms of the aggressiveness, that's unappreciated, and it's unwarranted. So for anybody who may want to leave negative comments, leave your negative comments. Let me know how you feel. Talk to me. Let me you know, respond back to you, so we can, you know, have a conversation about why you disagree with the build, what you think I could do better with it, and all that. I'm here to learn just as much as anyone else, but I'm not here to also be disrespected for any reason other than the reason I disrespected you. So Before we get to the second half, again, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to see whenever I upload, and I'll see you guys in the second part, and I'll let this finish playing out. Alright guys, welcome back to the second half of the video. If you stayed to now, I appreciate you for staying, but now we're just going to get into the details of the build. So I am running the ruler of the Riverside Yokai plus set. The reason why I'm running this plus set is because I wanted to use the melee damage versus saturated enemy on it. It also comes with other, very good bonuses, but the melee damage versus saturated enemy is exactly what I was going for. It comes with the efficient yokai abilities: whirlwind damage plus 15%, water damage plus an extra 10%, which is probably just 11% if you round it up, melee damage plus 7%, and then increased attack and defense on Kusarigama plus 80%. Plus 80, I'm sorry. And then the melee damage versus saturated enemy plus 20%. I paired that with the Grace of Awatasumi. And if you do not know, Grace of Awatasumi is the Water Grace. The Water Grace comes with saturation plus 25%, key damage versus saturated enemy plus 20%, increased defense on timely guard, water damage plus 30%, and then melee damage versus saturated enemy plus 35%. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I have used Awatasumi before. I'm pretty sure the 7-piece bonus on Awatasumi was melee damage versus saturated plus 40. The game did update recently, so I'm assuming that they dropped it down to 35, but I'm pretty sure it used to be 40. Someone in the comments let me know. I'm pretty sure before it was 40%, but now they dropped it down to 35%. But if I'm wrong, then I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it was 40%, but I'm not sure. Just let me know. But yeah, Grace of Awatasumi and the ruler of the Riverside Yokai. As you can see on my Kusarigama, I am using a water Kusarigama. I rolled and view water on it. The Mystic Dyad also came with the weapon, so that's very good because I'm taking advantage of both Mystic Arts on the Kusarigama, which is very useful for it. Life drain on melee attack is very good because the Kusarigama gets in a lot of attacks, so pretty much every single time you even hit an enemy, you'll be draining life from them. So life drain on melee attack is really good to have on this weapon. I have attack bonus skill on it because I decided to scale it with skill. I did not scale it with dexterity because I'm not really using ninjutsu that much, so I see no need to even use dexterity unless you're using ninjutsu. Now, if you're going to mix ninjutsu into this build, for sure you're going to want to scale your weapon with dexterity. You're going to want to try to get ultimate dexterity on your scroll. That way you can take full advantage of the ninjutsu that comes with the with using the Kusarigama in its base stats. But moving on, these are just here because they have Awatasumi's Grace on it. I'm running the headpiece, the arm piece, leg piece, and the arm piece, leg pieces, and the feet guard, the greaves. I'm running that, and then Tiger Skin Cuirass is here because I wanted to have a little bit of tankiness, even though I'm not a tank. I just wanted to have it. I wanted the build to be able to take a hit, because when you're in light gear and you get hit, especially late game and underworld, as you saw, you get hit really hard. Like, I'm over 200 toughness. That's a toughness, and I can still get hit ridiculously hard. Like, it'll probably take from an underworld boss, or even from a Scroll of the Damned, I get hit like 3 times, I'm dead. So when you're using this gear, you want to make sure that you at least use a piece of gear that has some type of, you know, heaviness to it. That way you're not just getting obliterated completely. In my opinion, the Kusarigama is a very skill-based weapon anyway. So like, you don't want to come out, you don't want to use that weapon and not know what you're doing. But we're moving on. Yasukani and Wajino's pillbox, of course, both Watatsumi. The good part about running a set bonus that pretty much takes over your entire like body pieces is that you only need to find weapons and accessories for the underworld graces that you're going to run. So it makes it a little easier to get this set together rather than trying to individually grind up different set pieces for each and every one of these slots. So that actually made, like, using this set made it a much easier for me to, you know, grind up the pieces that I needed. Onto the scroll, I'm running ultimate courage, ultimate magic, and ultimate skill. The reason why is, first of all, this scroll is from a different build that I used before, and I saw that it had like, ultimate courage and ultimate magic are really good. So using this scroll for this build helps it. Doesn't hurt it in the slightest. Ultimate magic and ultimate courage are probably the most important ultimate stats to have, especially when you're going into underworld. Ultimate magic because you can run both magic mystic arts, which are really good. One mystic art allows you to use your magic faster, and the other one makes it last longer and more powerful. So ultimate magic is very important for like underworld and very late game stuff. Ultimate courage pretty much just, you know, reduces your key consumption whenever you're attacking, so that who doesn't want less key, who doesn't want to use up less key? Like, everybody. So ultimate courage, ultimate magic are very good. Ultimate skill just happened to be on there, which is good because my weapon also scales with skill. So that actually works out in my favor. Ultimate skill, if you don't know, basically whenever you key pulse, even if it's not a perfect key pulse, you'll still get the status buff from whatever stance you're in. If you do not know what the status buffs are, that would be both of these. So you'll get you'll pretty much get both. Well, these right here, this, which is in high stance, these right here, which is in mid stance, and then these right here, which is in low stance. In high stance, it basically, once you do a perfect key pulse, you get an attack boost on your next attack. If you do a perfect key pulse in mid stance, you get a free guard basically without having to use up key. And then when you're in low stance, you get a free dodge without having to use up key. But they have to be perfect key pulses. Now, I'm not going to go into what perfect key pulsing is, because if you're looking at this video right now, you pretty much know what a perfect key pulse is. And if you don't, if you do need me to explain that to you, I'll do that in a later video if you need it. But other than that, that's what ultimate skill does. It pretty much gives you the status buff you get if you do a perfect key pulse, depending on the stance that you're in. On to our items. I am using steel for defense, of course, rejuvenation for life regen, barrier for instant yokai pool purifications and key recovery, faster key recovery speed. Extraction is for the life recovery and on rid absorption. I don't have it on my chest piece right now, but usually you would run life recovery and on rid absorption on your chest piece and your accessories. That way you're getting as much life back as possible when you absorb and rid. That's what extraction is for. Arch yokai is to give me more anima so I can use my yokai abilities more often. Lightning familiar is here for confusion, pretty much, because I am running a water Kusarigama, as I told you before. So this is literally here just to help me get confusion. Not to mention it also, you know, puts like a discount sloth on the enemy so that they are slowed down. Lightning pretty much slows the enemy down, so that helps with combat as well. My basic ninjutsu speed running scrolls and stuff. Sneak thief for make me invisible. Catwalking for quiet footsteps, and then tiger running for increased speed. Of course, quick change scroll, just in case I do die, I'll come back with the second life. Daya Jinsaki to help with pretty much to help with elemental damage I'm taking. That way I don't take any. This right here was a Scampus, but I used it up. So in the future I will have Scampus there. But those are my items. As for Guardian Spirit, now with this, there are 2 different Guardian Spirits that you can run for this build. The first Guardian Spirit I'm running right now is Yumihame. The reason why is because of the melee key damage plus 20%. You can never get like you can never basically have enough melee key damage, and that extra 20% is really good. Plus it comes with a faster key recovery on unread absorption, so that helps with the build even more. Kusarigama is pretty key heavy, so faster key recovery on unread absorption helps, especially since I'm running extraction. As for our soul cores, the usual soul cores pretty much. Magatsu Warrior, Ippon, and Aberrant Soldier. This is to generate Amrita if I ever need to, which I pretty much don't, because extraction is pretty much active damn near the whole fight. So this is here basically as a last resort. Ippon, of course, for the stun lock, because Ippon is one of the best soul cores around for fighting enemies, especially pressuring enemies. And then Aberrant Soldier, basically to help with my comboing and to center me and basically lock me back onto my enemy. Excuse me. And then the second Guardian Spirit that you can run for this is Izanagami. Izanagami is the water-based Guardian Spirit, basically. As you see, it comes with the melee damage versus saturated enemy plus 15%, and then increased attack when you use a medicine. So you can run either one of these. You can go into Izanagami or Yumihame. I ran Yumihame for the melee key damage, but Izanagami is also very good. So either one of these will work for you. If we go over to our skill tree, where are we gonna go? So first skills to get out the way is Armor Piercer, which is your final blows. Gotta max that out for sure. Patches to the Afterlife, that's the grapples. Gotta max that out for sure, since the Kusarigama is very grapple heavy. And then we go to Shadow Strike, which is the damage from behind. Always max these out first. Well, not first, but always try to max these out as soon as you can. And then the next are the skills. So I do run where is it? Crimson Flurry. Crimson Flurry is really good, especially for Yokai, because you can, if you imbue this, say you put like Arcana of Water or Fire on it, you do that around two times, maybe even 3 times, you're already going to inflict the enemy with the element. So that helps with putting confusion on the enemy even quicker. That's just the second one. Where are we going next? Reaper's really good, especially for yokai who are down. This is not necessarily really good for humans, but for yokai, whenever a yokai is downed, you can just throw out a Reaper right here and probably finish them off with that alone. Next is Whirlwind Kick. Whirlwind Kick is really good to pretty much destroy the key on the enemies. It's just like regular kick on like the sword or something like that. So it really does a good amount of key damage. So I think if you want to use that in your comboing, it'll be you pretty much can't go wrong. Water drop is a really good skill. It pretty much makes you jump into the air, throw the sickle down, and charge at the enemy. You can break yokai horns with it. You can break the guard of human enemies with it. It's really good in my opinion. I like it. I use it sometimes whenever I think about doing so in battle, but water drop is really good. Relentless, that's just to give me more key. This is not super necessary, but I just chose it just because I had more points to give up. Chain pull is a nice flashy move. Pretty much draws the enemy in and slices at them in low stance. More than likely, I actually took this one off. I used to use it, but I took this one off. The reason why is because more than likely, if I'm trying to break my enemy's guard or like drain their key, I'm continually attacking. So once their key is broken, I'm probably in the middle of a combo or I'm in the middle of attacking. So like I won't really have the time to use this. But people who are more skilled with the Kusarigama than I am will be able to take advantage of this more than I will. So if you do this, pair it with like grapple damage, and this will do a lot of damage. Retreating strike. Retreating strike is okay, I guess, to get you some distance and stuff, but it doesn't do a lot of damage like at all. Like it might like give you like if your enemy's low on key and you hit them with it, they'll probably, you know, it'll drain their key. But like in my opinion, like I said, if you're good at the Kusarigama, you'll find a use for all the skills. Me personally, I didn't find a use for the skills because of my gameplay, because of my play type. So I don't use it as much as someone else may use it. But I pretty much just got it to gain access to Shooting Star. If we go down here, Tango Strike. Now Tango Strike is a really good finisher on the end of combos. I use it in my mid stance, so Tango Strike will be good, especially if you're good at, like I said, good at comboing. Shooting Star is the Mystic Art that I had set first, and then this one right here is active because of the Mystic Dyad. Both of these are very good, but in my opinion, if you don't have Mystic Dyad, go for Shooting Star. The reason why is because it gives you extra attack damage and key damage on the metal weight instead of the sickle. And the metal weight is probably used in more of the combat than the sickle is of the Kusarigama. So in my opinion, Shooting Star would be better if you do not have Mystic Dyad. As for these over here, these are pretty much parries and stuff. In my opinion, I don't really use parries. I just got them because I didn't have anywhere else to put the stuff, like put the skill points and stuff. But yeah, I don't really use parries as much. But like I don't use like Master of Regard as much, or this like this. I don't use Waterfall either. But Whirlwind is pretty much a big damage dealer on my build. Because of the ruler of ruler of the Riverside Yokai. It has the 15% extra whirlwind damage, so this will be a big damage dealer for me. Fighting human enemies, this is pretty tough to use because they're usually like if you're not close enough, like it does have distance, but if you're not close enough, you won't hit, and then they'll get inside your guard and pretty much make you pay for it. So when you're using this, be careful using it. Second wind is just to grapple from distance, especially if they don't have key left. It's cool. It's honestly very cool, and it's very powerful if you get it off. Now Renegade Dragon is probably my favorite technique of the Kusarigama because of how it looks and how many hits it gets off. It attacks in all directions, so if the enemy does dodge, they'll still get hit depending on how far away they dodged away. Like this attacks in all directions, so this is probably my favorite one. If we go around, Deliverance is very good as a finisher as well. I use this in my high stance, I think, so it's a very good finisher, just like Tango Strike. If we go over here, like I said, I just have most of these skills I only have to gain access to other things, so I'll go down the skills I have equipped and everything. Where is it? It's another one that I'm looking for. Here it is, Blade Spin. Blade Spin is my second favorite and most used skill. Blade Spin has excellent tracking, and it keeps you up on your enemy if they're like trying to run away, especially if you're in the middle of comboing. You throw out a Blade Spin, it'll follow them pretty much. So that's it for the skill tree. Every time I do skill trees and stuff, I usually say like, do what you feel comfortable with. Don't worry about which ones are the best, which ones are this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter. Use what you're more comfortable with. So high stance, so you see Serpent Strike, that's just there because that's the only thing that can go there. Deliverance, again, good finisher. I like it. Renegade Dragon, my favorite move, my favorite Kusarigama move for sure. Has a wide range and it looks really cool. Blade Spin, good tracking, and it pretty much keeps you up on your enemy. That's what you need. Deadly Mark. Deadly Mark is really good when you get it off because you said that little spin it does a nice amount of damage. It can also inflict any element on your enemy, especially like I said, if you get it off. Here would be like your buffs and stuff, but I don't use those because those, in my opinion, they do more harm than good. Unless you set your build up to, you know, benefit from them. Tango Strike in the mid stance. Leaping Strike, which is pretty much the water drop. Whirlwind, like I said, one of my damage dealers and stuff. Deadly Mark on this one as well. I could put back Black Vines, but the reason I don't is because that move sometimes gets in the way of comboing. Masterful Guard, that's just there because that's the only thing that goes there. Down here, I'm using Deliverance. Like, again, I'm not using Retreating Strike, I'm using Deliverance because in my opinion, it combos better. Reaper is just there for if I down a Yokai. I don't use it on human enemies. Blade Spin, of course, like I said, because that has good tracking. You can use any of these. Whirlwind Kick, Whirlwind, Chain Pull, all this stuff, you can use it. I'm using what I feel comfortable with. And Deadly Mark. So that's pretty much everything. That's all the skills and stuff. Like I said, I use the skills that I'm more comfortable with. I use the skills that help me in battle. So if you can use every skill, by all means use every skill. I suck with the Kusarigama, so don't worry about that. Use the skills that you want to use. As for our stats, now the stats I have, you know, I'm learning, I'm getting better, and I'm starting to realize certain things about stats. At a certain point and at a certain level, stats start giving you minimum return on skills and stuff. So the best way to maximize the stats that you're using is to pay attention to how much they give you after a certain point. So every single skill you see is the level it is, because at a certain point it stops giving me pretty much advantages. So for example, Constitution is at 100. The reason why is because, first of all, it usually, I would have left it at 99. I would have left Heart and Constitution at 99, but I put them to 100 because I had like a couple extra, you know, and riddle points to put up. But Constitution and Heart at 100, because at 100 they pretty much stop giving you your maximum amount of return. So Constitution pretty much influences your health. It's at around 99 or 100. I think 99. At 99, Constitution pretty much starts to give you only about, I think, 10 life as opposed to the 25 life that it gives you. So from the base amount of 5 Constitution to around 10 is a huge jump. And then from 10 all the way to 99, it's around 25 life per level. But once you hit 100, it starts to give you back only 10 life. And then once you hit a certain threshold after 100, it gives you back like 4 or 5 life. So I stopped at 100 because it had been a minimum return of like 10 life every time I went up. So it's no point in me even wasting points to just keep getting only 10 life. As for Heart stops giving you key after you, Heart is for key. It stops giving you key after you hit 99. So once you hit 99, Heart no longer gives you key. You no longer get key. It only gives you life, and it boosts your melee weapon's attack power if it scales with Heart. Other than that, it only gives you key up until 99. So that's why it's at 100. Courage is at 150 because of ultimate courage. Stamina, I stopped at 10 because I'm already in B agility, and if I try to put my stamina up any higher, I would never reach A agility. So it doesn't even matter for me to put stamina up any higher than 10. So I'm already in B agility, so no point in putting stamina any higher. Strength is at 52 because, like I said, I had a couple extra points. I would have left it at 50 because at 50, strength pretty much stops giving you, it stops helping with your key pulsing. Now, if you don't know, strength and skill both help with key pulsing. At 50 strength no longer gives you any return on key pulsing. At that point, strength is, in my opinion, useless unless you are using a weapon that scales with strength. After 50, no point in even having it. So once you hit 50 strength, that's it. You don't need to put any more points into it, because at that point you no longer get any more key pulse bonus after that. Skill 200 because that's my weapon scales with. Dex is at 30 because I want to hit the capacity, and magic is at 150 because I'm using ultimate magic. But yeah, so certain skills hit certain caps at certain levels. Okay, after a certain level, they will start declining. They'll start declining in the boost that they give you to that certain skill. So make sure that you're paying attention when you're using your stats. That way you can maximize the amount of points that go into which stats that you want to use. As for our special effects and stuff, melee damage 35.7, water damage is at 50.6, melee versus saturated 55, melee key is at 37.8, Saturation 50.8. I think that is it, really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that would pretty much be it for the build. Like I said, it's a very it can be a very powerful build in the right hands. My hands are not the best hands to be in because like I said, I suck with the Kusarigama. In my opinion, people might say Kusarigama's most OP weapon. People might say it's easy to use. Well, those people are really good at the game, because me personally, I am terrible with the Kusarigama. But this build, even I can do well with this build. It'll take me a few attempts, but at the end of the day, this build will still get me through certain parts of the game and stuff. And again, the build isn't even maxed out, so as it is now, of course it won't take me through depths in the slightest, because it's not maxed out. I don't max out any of the builds that I put together unless they're my builds personally. Other than that, these are just showcases. These are just ideas to give other people. That way they may want to go and make this build themselves and completely max it out and do whatever they want to it. But again, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate you guys giving me feedback. I appreciate you guys giving me support. It means the world to me. I got more coming out, so please stay tuned. But it's your boy King Red Diamonds, and I'm out.